Well, I think it would be fitting to do this little video in the truck. You probably read the description about traveling anxiety. So we got back from South Carolina about a week ago. I didn't have that great of a time. My wife did. My wife had a extremely good time, but I didn't. I felt like the whole time we were down there, I was feeling like I was living in a cloud or something. But anyways, the reason why is that I knew for like 2 weeks that we were going to be taking this trip, and my wife and I haven't been on vacation for 15 years, at least 15 years. She says 12, but I say 15. And so I'm not much of a traveler. We don't, like I said, don't go on vacations. I don't like going any place different. And this is probably not a very good video to put out there, only because people are gonna, well, the 12 people that watch my channel are probably gonna think that I have lost my mind or something. But anyways, so like 2 weeks before we're going on vacation, before we were going to be driving down to South Carolina, I knew I was going to struggle with the drive. I was getting anxious, like I said, over the 2 week period. And then it came Friday, the day before we were leaving. We were leaving on a Saturday. The day before, Friday, I had so much anxiety. I was hiding it from my wife, but she noticed that I was like really quiet all day Friday. I kind of was just on my phone scrolling and watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. I was kind of being quiet, but I was really having a hard time Friday, the day before. And then Saturday morning when we got up, we loaded the truck up the night before, and we got up Saturday morning, and we hit the road, I don't know, about 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that. But soon as I put this truck into drive, my anxiety level just peaked. And I had anxiety the whole entire drive, all the way until we stayed in Pennsylvania Saturday night. But that whole entire first 9 hours or whatever it was, I had anxiety the whole entire ride. I don't really like to talk about it because it's kind of embarrassing, but and then the second day, same thing, anxiety all the way down. And then I was so amped up and my anxiety level was so high that even during the week that we were there, people that we were talking to, my wife was talking to everybody, by the way. I mean, every restaurant we went to, she was talking to everybody. And I was very quiet, and I would just fake the smile, smile. I kind of try to hide it from her most of the time, but she knows me. We've been married for 38 years. She knows me. And she knows kind of like what I was going through on the way down there, because I would have panic attacks every once in a while, to the point where I was like breathing in and out, but when we were down there, like I said, that whole week I felt like I was worried about the whole drive back, so I couldn't really enjoy the time we were down there, because the whole in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, we're gonna be leaving in 4 or 5 days, and I'm gonna get back on the road again, and so it was kind of like fake it till you make it. I try to put on a brave face and a smile for my wife. I know that she was really looking forward to this trip for a while, and we haven't been on vacation, and so I wanted to make sure that she was having a good time. So I tried to push myself through it to not worry her or ruin her vacation, which I don't think I did. I think she still had a good time and all that stuff, but she knew, But anyway, so as soon as I got home, um, and it was just a terrible, terrible drive. I mean, the whole entire drive. I mean, the whole time, I didn't have a very, didn't have a very good vacation at all. But as soon as I got home, um, I was still experiencing anxiety, and I hate the word anxiety, but everybody uses that a lot about how they. I'm not even sure if it was anxiety. I'm not sure if there's a such thing of anxiety, but people, I mean, whatever. But for this past week, at nighttime, I can still hear the highway of all the vehicles. You know, like that sound when you're traveling. If you travel, you understand what I'm talking about. That it's constant. But I can still hear that at night when I go to bed. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I kind of Googled it to find out what the heck was that all about. And I Googled travel anxiety. And a lot of people are talking about, you know, the fear of them flying. A lot of them were about flying, about their anxiety with traveling. And I found this doctor. I came across, I forgot where I found it. I don't remember. It wasn't on YouTube. But she was talking about how she has people that have driving anxiety. But she was talking more about people that are in their town and they can't even go around their block. That's how bad their anxiety is with driving. They're afraid of traffic lights, and they're afraid of like stop signs, and they're different things they're afraid of, like people coming up to their window when they're at a stop and they think they're going to get robbed or murdered or whatever. She was talking about long distance travel anxiety. You know, I do travel for my work because I'm a plumber, so I service a whole bunch of different towns from way up north to way down south, east, west. I mean, I'm familiar with my area, so I don't get anxiety traveling. But long distances on highways and roads that I'm not familiar with, for whatever reason, I got anxiety. And I wasn't afraid of like dying in a car accident. I wasn't afraid of, you know, traffic and she was saying that it was the fear of the unknown. What's around the next corner? What's 3 miles from here? You know, it was always like me. I was always looking at my GPS, and I don't like bridges. Don't mind bridges that are flat going over a river or something like that, or a creek or something like that. It's the bridges that go up. And I have a terrible fear of heights. Every mile I was looking at my GPS and I'm like, I see water coming up and I'm like, oh boy, or you know what? I hope this is not this crazy bridge or some old thing that was built in the 1800s or some 1900s or something. And so that was like every mile I kept on worrying about what was coming up next. And then we were traveling through, I think, North Carolina, and I think it was Route 81 South. You go through these mountains, and for whatever reason, we have mountains where we live, and we have roads that go up side of the mountains, like you know, the White Mountains, and you see how high you're up and see how far you can. I mean, you can see forever. It doesn't bother me, but there, for whatever reason, it seems like Route 81 South. It was like always going up, coming down, going up, coming down, and it was like I don't know why it gave me so much anxiety. And then knowing that on the way back, there was like one part, and I don't remember where it was. I don't think it was 81. I don't remember what highway we're on, but it was like, yeah, when we were going to South Carolina, it was like you're going down this crazy mountain, and these big trucks were flying by, and then on the way back to New Hampshire, you're climbing up this big mountain, and I don't know, it ruined my vacation. I don't know, it's still affecting me. Here we are a week later, and it's still kind of bothering me that I had such a hard time with it. And so I was telling my wife, I said, you know, like, my biggest fear of, because of that, unless I can overcome it, my biggest fear of moving down to South Carolina is that I had such a bad time traveling there and coming back that when we travel down there to move down there, I'm going to feel stuck. Because I feel like it'll take everything out of me. You know, if something, God forbid, anything happens at home here in New Hampshire, you know, my mom gets sick, my brother, or any of my brothers, or my kids, you know, something happens, or my grandkids, and I have to come back because I don't like flying. I feel like I'd be stuck in South Carolina like a prisoner. Can't leave. It's sad. I don't know what to think about all of it. I'm hoping to overcome it. I'm going to still do some research. I mean, when I was doing some research, people say that if you have travel anxiety, travel at night so you can't see things, because anything would throw me off. I could see a big water tower on the highway way, way down. You know, you could see the top of the water tower. And I'm like, oh, I know it's got to be near water. It's going to be some big ass bridge or something. It's embarrassing, actually. I'm embarrassed. I'm actually embarrassed by it. I don't know what to think about it. So I made this video, so that's what I went through. And that's how I'm feeling. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future. So I'm hoping that I can overcome it. Yeah. This is going to be kind of an embarrassing video. So, the 12 people that watch my channel, that any of you have travel anxiety, or if you have any family members or anybody that you know of that have a hard time traveling, have a problem with bridges, or whatever, I'd be curious to share it in the comments. And if you know anybody that experienced, share this video with them, and maybe they can respond about how they overcame it. And I'm seeking some help. All right. I don't know if I should share this or not. I decide. All right. Peace.